Hey there! So today we're going to be doing some e-learning with me, Mrs. Cozy. I miss you guys so very much, and I can't wait to get back to school because I miss you so much. Okay, so today we're going to be making a box guitar. Okay, so it's a little bit artsy, crafty, and musical. So let's get started with the materials. So you're going to need some paper to wrap your box with. You'll need a small box like a tissue box or shoe box, or this is a little box from Amazon. Doing some recycling today. You're going to need some rubber bands, different shapes, different sizes, and lengths and widths. You'll need some tape, some glue, and some decorating materials. Like I have some Sharpies here and some other different markers and things. And if you don't have regular paper or you want to make yours different, you are welcome to use wrapping paper or any other decorative paper. But try to add your own designs too. The first thing you're going to want to do is to wrap your box. So you can go ahead and use that time, just like I'd be wrapping a gift, birthday gift for someone, or any time gift. All right, so I went ahead and cut my tape ahead of time because it just makes it a little bit easier for me. And you can use any kind of tape for this. I'm using masking tape because that's all I had in my house. But duct tape or, Scotch tape will work just fine too. If you've never wrapped anything before, what I'm doing is I put the paper all the way around, and then I tape, and then on the sides I'm just pushing down here, and it creates these like triangle sides like that. And so I push those in, and then I fold it over like that, and I keep it down here, like so. Now the fun part is where we get to decorate. All right, here we go. I'm probably going to go in a fast speed for this, but you're welcome to go as slow as you need to. Now that we're done decorating, you're going to need a little bit of help from a parent or a much older brother or sister, like 18 or older. Okay, so the next part is that we're going to cut a hole into our box. So pick a side. I'm going to choose the side that has the paper all over it and not the tape. It's just easier for me to cut through just the paper and the box. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a circular or rectangular or whatever shape you want, really, teardrop shaped. And I'm going to cut that probably about 4 inches in diameter. So. Might help you, that I think is going to help me too, is I'm going to draw that shape on my box so that I know exactly where to cut. Okay, like so. And I'm using my pocket knife, but You're welcome to use, I think, any little knife or box cutter would work for this. Scissors might also work depending on how sharp your scissors are. Be very, very careful when you're doing this. So next we're going to add our rubber bands. Some of your rubber bands might be large enough where you can stretch them all around your box. Like so. And others, not so much. So for these little ones, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them just once. I'm going to stretch them out over the length of my box here, and then I'm going to tape them to the ends. Tape the ends to the ends of my box. And I'm making sure that each rubber band stretches over that hole in my box as well. Okay, so some trouble that I'm running into is that my rubber bands are not sticking to the tape, or the tape is not keeping the rubber bands secure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strong glue and I'm going to apply the glue here. If you have duct tape, you probably won't need a strong glue, but it's a good idea to reinforce it with some glue anyway. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting my rubber bands. Then I'm going to add the Gorilla Glue or super glue or whatever strong glue that you have. You can use that to the ends where I would have put where I will also put the tape. I went ahead and glued those ends of the rubber bands to that side. I'm going to go ahead and wait for that glue to dry and come back to this in about 30 minutes or so. That way I can stretch my rubber bands to the other side. So I went ahead and stretched my rubber bands across from the glued side. I waited for that to dry and I stretched it across, and then I ran into another problem. The problem was it kept snapping back to the other side. So to fix my problem, I found some thumb tacks at home, and I went ahead and tacked them on here while I wait for that glue to dry. I might even just leave those there just to make sure that those strings don't fall off again. All right. So I'm going to wait about another 30 minutes for that to dry. And then we're going to see what other cool things we can do with our little guitar. And we're going to add some more options to make more types of sounds that can come from your guitar here. As it dried pretty much, so now I'm going to go ahead and add some options, and I'm also going to test out my guitar here. So let's test it out. I'm also going to so I found this in my kitchen. It's just a little, you know, those little parts that secure your bread or your bagels to keep them from being stale, or they tell you the date that they're good until. So I'm going to use that as a little pick for my guitar. So a little bit of a different sound. I can also add this is a little zip tie, and I'm going to keep it nice and straight and open, and I'm going to actually glue it down to just the face of my guitar, even to the side of my guitar. That's an even better idea. And when I use my pick on it, I'm just going to bring it down. And it should create this little zippy sound. Let's see, does it sound better there? Or here? Okay, I like it better at the top of my guitar. All right, and I'm also going to add this little thing. This is just a little scoop I found in my house. I love to recycle, and this is a 5 recycle, so those are very, very hard to find a place to recycle them, at least for me. So I'm going to go ahead and recycle this by adding it to my guitar. I'm just going to glue down the handle for it, and so that way I can bring it up and down, make this sound, or I can tap on it with my pick. Some other options, you could add a add a comb to it, and it would also make that zippy sound that you want, if you want to make that. Little cups and things, you know, anything that you can really think of that will make a cool sound on your box, go ahead and add that. And I think that would just enhance it that much more. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to add is a handle for my guitar. So you can leave it just like this, or if you want to, you can find a paper towel roll, and you can glue it to the top here, and that makes your guitar look even more authentic. So up to you. I'm going to go ahead and add mine. I'm going to add my details, and we'll see in just a minute. Okay, my guitar is all done. So I added these pencils here just to hold up my strings a little bit, and you can see how they change the sound. Listen. Sounds like a real guitar. I hope you enjoyed the box guitar making video, and I hope to see you all so super soon. I miss you.